Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear children, to our computer class. So, we will continue from where we had stopped in the last class. So, today we will see about evolution of computers, how the computer has evolved. So, we are studying chapter number 1, that is history of computing or history of computers. So, in this lesson, basically, we are seeing how computers have evolved, like the present day computer which you see at your home, in school, in banks, in malls, etc. Were the computers always like this, or the computers that were 100 years old, 200 years old, how they used to look? So we are studying about the history of computers, how the computers have evolved. So now we will continue from evolution of computers. So let's read it together. As technology went on advancing, the components used in computers also changed, leading to computers that were more efficient and smaller in size. Let's find out more about the evolution of computers through generations. So now we are basically studying about the various generation of computers, like first generation, second generation. So in brief, we are seeing what those computers were capable of, what their size was, what their speed was, and in the next generation what was improved. So the first one is the first generation computers, and they were during the period of 1942 to 1955. The characteristics of first generation of computers are as follows. And one thing to keep in mind is that every following generation of computer was better than its predecessor, than the previous computer. So first generation computer, their characteristic first point is they were built using vacuum tubes. So they had vacuum tubes which were used in the first generation computers. Other property or other characteristic is they were very big in size. So the first generation computers compared to the second, third, fourth, fifth generation were very huge in size. Their size was very big. The operating system was slow and took a lot of time to process information. The time taken by the operating system in those first generation computer was very big, and thus the speed was very slow. As it was taking lot of time, naturally its speed got reduced. And one more point it had was they produce heat in large amounts, that is वो बहुत जल्दी गर्म हो जाता था. If you had used only for 10 minutes 15 minutes, the whole system would heat up. बहुत ज़्यादा गर्म होता था. So here in this photo you can see the vacuum tubes that were used in first generation computers. Now we don't use first generation computers, but just they are there in museum and in computer labs, so that students can go and see how the early computers looked like. So here there are examples of first generation computers. So first example is ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. ENIAC is the first generation computer. It was built in 1946 and it was the first electronic digital programmable computer. The instructions were entered into the computer using plugs and switches, but it was a tedious job. That means it took lot of time to do small work. अगर हमें बस छोटा सा भी काम करना होता, for that it required lot of time. So it was not efficient with respect to the time it took. Then came its successor, UNIVAC. UNIVAC 1. So its full form is Universal Automatic Computer 1. So the UNIVAC, it came in 1951 and was the first computer to be made available to the general public. This ENIAC which was built, it was only used for scientific purposes and in research lab only. But when UNIVAC was invented, it was made available to the general public. Like me and you, common people can purchase this computer and use at their home. The instructions were entered using magnetic tapes. However, it was very expensive and not many organizations could afford the computer. Though it was made available to the public, but it was very expensive. वो बहुत महंगा था. Because of that, not many people bought that computer, and thus many organizations, they did not put this computer in their school or colleges because it was very expensive. Then came second generation computers. This period was from 1955 to 1964. The characteristics of second generation computers are as follows. So following are the characteristic of second generation computers. And as I told before, every next generation would be better than the previous generation. See, here we can see them. They use transistors made of silicon or germanium material. So instead of vacuum tubes, what did they use? They made use of these small transistors. Thus, they were smaller in size and took less computational time as compared to the first generation. पहले जनरेशन को उन्होंने इम्प्रूव किया और सेकेंड जनरेशन लेकर आए. तो सेकेंड जनरेशन में क्या मिला उन्हें? इट टुक लेस टाइम, उसकी स्पीड बढ़ गई, उसकी साइज़ कम हो गई, एंड दस दे जनरेटेड लेस हीट. फर्स्ट जनरेशन के मुकाबले में कम हीट जनरेट करते थे, दस मेकिंग देम लेस प्रोन टू फेलियर. क्योंकि जब कोई मशीन ज़्यादा गर्म हो जाती है, सो देर इज़ अ डेंजर दैट समथिंग में बर्न अप इनसाइड द मशीन. एंड लास्टली दे यूज्ड असेंबली लैंग्वेज फॉर प्रोग्रामिंग दैट वाज मच बेटर देन the previous computer, that is the UNIVAC. This computer used assembly language programming to program it. So second generation was better than the first generation. In what case? It used transistors instead of vacuum tubes. Thus it was smaller in size, it took less time, and similarly it produced less heat, making it more efficient compared to first generation computer. So let's see some of the examples of second generation computers. Some of the examples are IBM 1400 series and IBM 7094 series. So let's read it. The IBM 1400 series of computers made by the company IBM used transistors and stored data in small magnetic blocks. Instructions were fed by punched cards or magnetic tapes. Outputs were also taken on punched cards, magnetic tapes, or high-speed printers. They performed calculations on each character. Thousands of these computers were sold or rented and were mainly used for business application. So the IBM company, they made the second generation computers which was made available to the public also. So they had given the name IBM 1400 series, and similarly later they came up with IBM 7094 series. So what are the specific points of this? Instructions were fed by punch cards or magnetic tapes. Magnetic tapes were used to input the instruction inside the computer, or punched cards were used, and output were taken on punched card, magnetic tapes, or high speed printers. And thousands of these computers were sold because it made the work easy of the people, but this was mainly used for business application as its cost was high comparatively to the present day computers. Okay, then came the IBM 7094 series. IBM built the 7094 series specifically for handling complicated scientific calculation. They had an increased processing speed for floating point calculations. Instructions were fed using punch cards or magnetic tapes. Then IBM came with a specific series of 7094 which was used for scientific purpose like in space aircraft or rocket launching or other scientific purposes. They made this specific series because it had a very high processing speed and it used floating point. Floating point means decimal point, like it could operate on decimal numbers also, floating point numbers also. Then after that, third generation computers came in 1964 to 1975. So similarly, the third generation were better than the second generation. Second generation computer, it had some drawback, so people, they got into it, they tried to improve it, make it better, and they came up with the third generation computer. The characteristic of third generation computer are as follows. First characteristic is use of IC, integrated circuit. This is how an IC looks like. Integrated circuit, a chip measuring only about a quarter of an inch, accommodating thousands of transistors in it. So what was an IC? It was a chip in which thousands of small transistors were accommodated. So it was better than the second generation by it was smaller, reliable, and efficient computers. It had increased speed, it was cheap compared to the previous generation computers, and it was low on maintenance. मतलब उसको ठीक करने के लिए ज़्यादा पैसे नहीं लगते थे, and it used high level language operating system. This was the characteristic, that it used high level language operating system. Then next we will see the examples of third generation computers. Again IBM system or 360. IBM made the third generation computers. IBM introduced the IBM system or 360 computer using a combination of ICs and transistors to run and have 144 instructions. It was compatible with other IBM system 360 machines. Programs written for one 360 machine were capable of running on another 360 machine. So third generation computer example was IBM 360, which was again made by IBM company. So it was an improvement to the second generation computer. So example of Third generation computer is, another example is UNIVAC 1108. In addition to using ICs and transistors, the UNIVAC 1108 also had multiple CPUs. This meant that the processing speed increased and more than one program could be run at the same time. ICs were also used for storage of data, hence data could be accessed faster. So generally what we are seeing is that every next generation computer is better than its previous computer, its previous generation computer. So you don't have to remember each and every detail about each of them, but just you have to understand the concept that the computers we have right now, they were not like this always. The old computers, they were made better and then new computers came. So now next is fourth generation computers, 1975 to 1980. The characteristics of this generation of computers are as follows. They were smaller in size. As I had said, every next generation would be an improvement to the previous generation computer. हर अगला जनरेशन का कंप्यूटर पहले के कंप्यूटर से बेटर होगा. कैसे बेटर हो सकता है? उसकी साइज़ छोटी हो जाएंगी, उसकी स्पीड ज़्यादा होगी, वो कम हीट होगा, वो पहले के मुकाबले में ज़्यादा सस्ता होगा. इट वुड बी चीपर. So there were smaller in size as thousands of circuits could be accommodated on a single chip. Increased speed, उसकी स्पीड बढ़ गई, reliability increase हो गई, accuracy and ease in portability also increased. It became more powerful, compact, low on maintenance, cheap and affordable. तो कोई चीज़ बेहतर कैसा करते हैं लोग? या तो उसकी स्पीड बढ़ाते हैं, या उसको सस्ता कर देते हैं, या उसको पावरफुल बनाते हैं. So this gave rise to the personal computers, leading to the development of internet and networking system. So fourth generation computer के बाद में PC का concept आया, यानी personal computer. Everyone used to have their own personal computer. Examples of fourth generation computers are IBM PC and Apple Macintosh. These were the two big companies that came up with personal computers. First one was IBM and next was Apple Macintosh. So IBM PC was the size of a typewriter with 16 kilobytes of main memory. The computer had a black and white monitor, two floppy disk drives, a keyboard and disk operating system. Data was entered only by typing text on the keyboard. The computer came with a program for creating and editing text. So these were the characteristics of IBM, that its size was so small that it became like the size of a typewriter. This is the size of a typewriter and it had a keyboard for typing. So they did not use punch cards or magnetic tapes. Rather it had a keyboard, and rather it had a keyboard through which they could enter data into this computer, and it also had a 16 KB of main memory. It had floppy disk drive and it also had a disk operating system. Then similarly Apple company, they came up with their own version of personal computer. Apple released the Macintosh computer in January 1984. The computer again was the size of a typewriter. Size was same. It had a black and white display. Color display नहीं था, black and white था. It had but 128 kilobytes of memory, which was much times greater than this 16 kilobyte. And two applications, one for editing text and one for drawing. So there were two applications like Paint and WordPad. There were two applications, one for drawing and one for painting, or one for drawing and one for writing the text. The Macintosh was the first computer to use a GUI, graphical user interface. That means users could see icons over there, like we see Paint, WordPad, then we double click on it and we open it. So these were the graphical user interface, like you see in your mobile phone also. You see icons of application and you just double touch on that icon and that icon opens up. So it was the first to have a graphical user interface based operating system. This meant that the user would carry out tasks on the computer by activating small picture icons on the display with the help of a mouse. तो मतलब क्या होता था, ऐसा स्क्रीन पे दिखाई दे रहा है और माउस के ज़रिए user could select icons with the help of the mouse. And last is the fifth generation computer, and fifth generation computer is from 1982. Continuously it is going on. Continuously the computers are being developed and they are improved. Fifth generation computers are still in the developmental stage. They will be based on artificial intelligence, the ability to think for themselves and take decisions on their own based on the data they receive from their surroundings. These computers should be able to learn from the results of their interaction with their surroundings. They should also be capable of understanding human speech. An example of machines understanding speech can be found in mobile phones. So fifth generation computers are the developmental stage computers. They are every day being developed. उनकी साइज़ छोटी हो रही है, उनकी स्पीड बढ़ रही है, and they are having artificial intelligence. मतलब जैसे हमें दिमाग होता है वैसे ही कंप्यूटर को भी वो दिमाग देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. So how they do that? It makes the computer work on the data it has. Similarly, in the mobile phone we can see there is Google Assistant. If in your mother's or father's phone you will see there is Google Assistant, or you can use your speech to search something. For example, if you go to google.com and in the search bar there is one little mic over there, and if you press that mic it will tell speak. Then if you say tell me about computer or first computer, you are not typing anything, you are just telling to the mobile phone. So whatever you are telling, it is being typed over here, what is a computer. So that is text is written by speech, so we are converting speech to text. So similarly other applications are also there which are improving the capability of the computers and making it more useful and more beneficial for the humans. So instead of typing anything, they are just speaking to the computer like how they speak to each other. So with this we complete our first lesson. So I would request all of you to go through the lesson, read the lesson and write this synopsis one time in your notebook. That is your homework. In the next video we will complete the exercises. Okay, so the main concept about this lesson was we were seeing how the computers are evolved. First computer, how it looked like, then how the stages went by, and how the computer we have right now is present, like how it was developed from the previous old computers. Okay, thank you.